What's up guys, my name is Devin and welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new NXTRND G2 Pro football gloves and comparing them to the G2s they released last year. Let's do it. Alright guys, here's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Again, these are the NXTRND G2 Pro football gloves. They've sent over all 14 colorways, so we're going to get into this box, unbox them all, and then we'll talk about some of the key differences between the G2 Pro and then the original G2. Without further ado, let's tear into this box, see what we got. Let's check out the gloves. So here they are. Here's the first one. Let's just get all of them out of the box here, and then we'll take a look. All right, let me just get organized really quick, and then we'll kind of go through all the colorways. So again, there are 14 total colorways. I'm pretty sure there's 14 of the original G2s, but these are the G2 Pro, as I mentioned. So they're going to be a little bit different. We'll talk about some of the small details that make them different from the OGs. Alongside all these gloves, NXTRND also hooked us up with a bunch of cool rubber band bracelets and some NXTRND stickers. Just so you guys know, anytime you order 2 or more items on their website, they're going to throw you guys some bands and stickers as well, so definitely do that if you guys want. So first things first, we're going to go through every single colorway. Of course, we're going to start things off with a nice black. We're going to get all of them out of the packaging and kind of show you guys the gloves in all their glory. All right, so we finally got them all unboxed. Let me organize them real quick, and then we will go through all the different colorways. All right, guys, now that we've unboxed all 14 colors of the NXTRND G2, let's take a look at each colorway. First pair we have is black and white, classic. Then, of course, you've got the all white too. I love the silver details on these. Of course, we have the all pink, which is perfect for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A nice classic royal blue, a nice orange, maroon, a bright yellow. These ones always remind me of penalty flags. Still pretty cool. We've got a navy. Their Columbia blue, which I always say is one of my favorite colors that they have. Kind of like this green apple colorway. I'm a big fan of this one as well. Classic red and white. We've got a purple pair, which is pretty sweet. You don't see a lot of gloves in purple. A nice dark green. And lastly, we have this nice dark gray. You don't see a lot of gray football gloves either. All right, guys, so these are the NXTRND G2 Pro, like I've already mentioned at some point throughout this video, but this is the updated model of the G2 that we did a review on last year. NXTRND has updated the glove and made a couple small tweaks that make them even better than they were before. Now, this video isn't going to be a full in-depth review. If you guys want information on the G2, we do have that full review you guys can check out, but in this video, we're just going to be comparing the two and talking about some of the key updates that they made. These still have the NXTRND neck grip, which is super sticky, unique thumb socket, tightly locks your hand into position. They have a reworked fit, which improves comfort and dexterity, which is new. They have silicone index finger caps, which stops the gloves from twisting, which is one of my main concerns I had when I reviewed them last year. And then lastly, they have the extended palm design, which increases the overall catching surface, and we'll talk about that in a bit. So I actually have a pair of the OG NXTRND G2s and of course the GT Pro, so we'll be able to make a direct comparison between the two gloves and see all the changes that they made. First, let's get both out of the package so we can get a real good feel for them. All right, guys, so I have the G2 Pro on this hand and I have the G2 on this hand. At first glance, they do look pretty similar, but this one does have some tweaks. The first one is going to be the updated palm graphic. Now, this was the palm graphic that they debuted on the regular G2s last year. As you guys can see, it just says G2 at the bottom and has the NXTRND logo down the pinky. And on these, you have that super popular kind of designer print that we've been seeing in college football and in the NFL. You've got the NXTRND logo and then the G2 logos in kind of this cool alternating pattern. It's super bright, super vibrant, and it looks really good on the glove. Personally, I think this one does look a lot better. It provides some nice contrast, and this one was a lot more simple. The next major change on these gloves is going to be the addition of the silicone finger cap. So this on the G2, you guys can see that side panel is made from silicone, and on the original G2s, it was just a mesh. One of my biggest gripes with the G2s in last year's review is that this index finger just moved around all too easy, and that's because it didn't have the silicone, it didn't have any support to keep the glove from twisting. So on the G2 Pros, they added some silicone and now it twists way less. You guys can see it's pretty secure on there, so when you catch the football, your glove isn't sliding around on your fingers, making it kind of tough to hold on to the ball. This is an excellent addition to the glove, and like I said, it just makes the glove feel much more planted and secure on your hands, and just makes catching the football a little bit easier. One less thing to worry about. The next thing we're going to talk about is that they've extended the palm grip. So as you guys can see, the grip on this glove goes from the top of the finger all the way down to the wrist, which increases the overall catching surface area, which is really nice. Although it's definitely not advised, you could easily catch the football with your wrist if you had to. On last year's G2s, the grip stopped right about here at the wrist. You guys can see it's got this thick cuff here, no extended grip, no extended catching surface area. So I think this was a necessary change. I remember when I initially did the review on these, a lot of people in the comments were like, wait, why did they go away from the extended grip? They heard you guys, they listened, and they brought it back on the G2 Pro. That's one of my favorite things about NXTRND. They hear what people say and then make the necessary changes. Having this material down here also helps with wrist flexibility as well because it's a thinner material than this cuff. So in addition to having more catching surface area, you also get plenty of mobility, which is really nice to have as well. Overall, it wasn't the biggest change in the world, but I think these 3 things that they did on the G2 Pro really make this a really good glove and one of my favorite gloves out there on the market right now. I think all the changes they made were necessary, and like I said, I really love that they listen to what players say and they make the necessary changes to make the best products possible. So huge shout out to NXTRND, not only for sending all 14 colorways, but just being such a great brand and making some really quality football gear. With that being said, the NXTRND G2 Pro is one of my favorite football gloves on the market. It's super comfortable. This back of hand is very nice. The next grip on the palm is super sticky, helps you catch plenty of footballs. I also think with the updated styling changes, these things look absolutely amazing and are one of the best looking football gloves on the market. You get this nice solid look on here, and now you get a little bit of contrast on the palm, which again, I think was a very necessary change and looks amazing. And of course, they come in 14 colorways, so you guys should have no problem finding a pair that fits your team. We went through the colorways earlier, but they've got just about everything. And one of my favorite things about NXTRND is they make all their products the same color. So if you want purple football glove, you can also get a purple arm sleeve, a purple shiesty, purple leg sleeve to just match everything perfectly. Now, if you guys want to get the NXTRND G2 Pro, they're $50. We're going to link them down in the description below. They're also sold in store at Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy, Shields, and of course on NXTRND's website. Also keep in mind, if you guys do decide to get these off their website, if you buy 2 or more items, you are going to get a couple cool bracelets and some stickers. So definitely keep that in mind. Everybody loves stickers, but either way, NXTRND G2, awesome football glove. Definitely check it out. That'll do it. And there you guys have it. There's all the colorways and all the information on the brand new NXTRND G2 receiver football glove. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to like the video, comment what you guys want to see us do next, and make sure you guys subscribe for more videos just like this one. My name is Devin, and thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Footballrs.